Runaway June.
Ladies, how are you? Everybody good?
Great.
Yeah, good.
Do we like each other?
We love each other.
love each other.
We do?
We actually really do.
All right. Just seeing where we are. It's
I
a
like
group.
that laugh,
It's a
Lunchbox.
group dynamic. We have a group. You have a group. There's been some changes with the group, but Runaway June, this is it.
This is it.
This is it. Jen, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're always so friendly.
I'm busy being a mama,
Yeah.
getting thrown up on, and
Is it more intense than you thought it would be, being a new mom?
yes.
Constant.
Yes. Everyone said it's going to be hard. And I'm like, "Ugh, I've gone on radio tour my whole life. I mean, I'm like, I can do anything. And then when she came, I was like, wow, this is a game changer. But she's awesome. She's so happy. She's so smiley. And every minute is worth it. The first 2 weeks were tough. And then it got better.
So it's only hard for 2 weeks, then you're good?
No,
Kids
no,
are good?
no.
That's how hard a kid is? 2 weeks?
No.
It's hard the whole time, but the first 2 weeks I was like, oh no, what have I done? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And I kept like apologizing to her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm your mom. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm sorry, I'm your
I
mom.
felt so bad. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then I started to feel like, okay, I got the hang of this.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Natalie,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
I'm great.
How, you're a television professional now as well?
Thanks to you. Yeah.
No, you're killing it. You're amazing.
Bobby got too busy, so I had to come fill in. It
No,
was
not
so
true.
awesome.
Not true. So you guys are out playing a lot more shows because you're not able to do TV as much.
Yeah.
And so that's actually a great thing,
Yes,
right?
it is a wonderful thing.
When you bring, and we'll talk to Stevie in a second, but when you bring in somebody new in the group and you're playing all these shows, I'm assuming that's the best way to get to know somebody is just to go and do it, right? And just
Oh, yeah.
be on the bus and live together.
Yes.
What have you guys done to make sure to bond with the new member here?
That's
Well,
a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just said it. It's like we already had a full touring schedule and had tons of festivals and stuff that we were playing this summer, and it was immediate. Like we were thrown into the fire, and we rehearsed a bunch, but then it was like you don't really know until you get on stage and see how we interact with each other and then connect with the crowd, and it just has felt so natural. I mean, Stevie is unbelievable.
How'd you find
Yeah.
her? It's like she's not here yet. It's just
let's
how
just
did
keep
you
talking
find
about her.
Stevie?
Like, talk about me.
Jen already knew Stevie. Y'all had written together years ago. And so when we were talking about how we were going to, move forward, Jen and I played a couple shows, just the two of us, and we knew we could do that. But Runaway June is 3-part harmony. I mean, we really enjoy that. And so Stevie was literally the first person that she sent to me and said, hey, what do you think about this girl? And I was like, oh, I'm done. That's it. She's an amazing player. I mean, there was just something there. But then we all started laughing. We were like, we can't fall in love with the very first person that we're thinking of. But we absolutely did.
You did. Okay, Stevie, it's now time for your
Yes,
grand entrance.
here we go.
We have the smoke machine on. Stevie, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You're new to the group. What are you good at?
Well,
Why do you think they brought you in? Because obviously you're very talented and you can sing, and I know all of this. But
Thank you.
where do you think your strengths lie when it comes to being part of Runaway June?
I think being a part of this band is being able to work as a team. It's not a one-person job, So I think the first time we got together, it was like we clicked really well and we worked really well together, and we all do a really good job of letting the other ones shine. And so I think that's one of my assets to this group, is that I want these girls to have the spotlight as well. So it's really a trio, and you're hearing all of our voices in it. So
Hey, Natalie, what do you have over there? What is that little instrument?
It's a mandolin.
And that is plugged in. It's a little electric. Most of the time you play a fiddle.
Yes.
Is this are you playing this more?
Brand new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you play it without the guitars? Let everybody hear this. Go ahead. Just do whatever you just did. Just that. That's pretty cool, huh?
That sounds awesome.
Sounds good.
And brand new.
How long have you been playing that?
I learned that song to play in Runaway June a couple years ago, but that was the only song I played on it. But then when we started working on new music with Stevie, it was apparent that I needed to play a little more mandolin, because there were songs that just mandolin sounds better because it's more rhythmic. And so I just started learning how to play it. So I recorded on one of our new songs, and now I I'm learning mandolin.
I'm gonna
She's a virtuoso.
Oh, yeah.
No.
She can play
It's
anything.
annoying how good she is. It is
crazy.
You see certain people and you're like, oh, you get all that and I got this. That's what it is with Natalie. Yes.
That's how I feel about your hair. She's got the best hair.
I thought
This
she
is
got
why
my
I
hair.
love
Dang.
her.
Too.
I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then she looks over at Natalie.
hair.
Oh, man.
We were
Thanks,
actually
Jen.
talking about you. Don't worry.
All right, Runaway June is here. I want to play the new song, Broken Hearts. So, Jen, talk to me about this song.
So this song was an outside song. We didn't write it, and our manager played it for us, and all three of us were like, oh my gosh, that song is awesome. And it's so relatable. I feel like we've all been there, and we've all gotten our heart broken and done some pretty dumb stuff. And so it was cool too. All three of the writers, it was their first cut. They'd never had a cut before. So it was like, just felt so cool to be able to do that and cut outside songs. Nashville has the best writers in the entire world here. So it's so cool to be able to be in a community and
When
use
you
them.
started that question with "We didn't write it," you guys are such songwriters. That's kind of like a badge of respect. Going, hey, we didn't write this. We loved it so much. We have a bunch of songs we wrote, but we thought this song was so good. And I'll talk about a song Jen just wrote that was a big one for Keith Urban, which is pretty crazy too. Yeah, congrats. We'll get to that in a minute.
Well, you started
And
my writer's
We will
career.
stop all of that, and we will play this song.
You did.
This is Runaway June and their new song. No, don't play it yet.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna play it here first, like the song where you did all the special buttons and stuff. You know, where the guy sits in the glass
Technology.
and goes, "Do it again." Hey, Stevie, where are you from? Like, what's like your personal origin story?
Yeah, so originally from Florida, but I grew up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
And you came to Nashville. How old?
I was 18.
Did you get in a car and just drive by yourself? What was that Nashville story?
I did. So I went to MTSU to study songwriting and at 18 and then just ended up staying out here. As close as I could get to Nashville is where I wanted to be. So
Did you come to town with dreams of being a songwriter and then the artist thing kind of happened? Or was it, I'm going to be an artist and songwriting is how I'll get there?
So I think it was the latter. Like I always considered myself a songwriter first. And if the artist thing came along with it, then it did. And I just really wanted to focus on what I felt my strengths were. So I was really just focusing on the songwriting, studying that in school. And then I joined these girls. So it kind of worked out.
Runaway June is here. Jen, so you did that the last Keith Urban song. That was a big old hit.
Yeah.
You wrote that,
Yes, you
huh?
did.
Yeah.
What was the story with that song? How'd you write it? How'd you get it to Keith Urban, etc.?
That was so cool. So I wrote that with Eric Pasley and Brad Tersey, who are two of my friends. And
Brad's in Old Dominion.
yeah, Brad's
Yeah.
in Old Dominion. And I actually dreamt that melody, which is so weird. I'm usually more.
Do the melody out for us.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm putting you to it, but I'm going to make our
I'm
listeners.
like, how does it even go? Every time I get put on the spot, I'm like, how does it?
Wild. It's the song's
This goes out to the drifters and all of the dreamers ready to fly.
You dreamt that?
So I dreamt that melody, and I'm normally a lyricist. Like I'm better at lyrics. So I brought that melody in, and we just started writing it. And Brad and Eric are so great. But the cool thing is, Brad and I happened to be golfing one day together, and Keith called him, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Keith Urban's calling me," and I'm like, "What?" And we knew he'd listened to the song, but he passed on it originally, and he felt like the verses didn't quite speak to him, so he was like, "Do you guys mind if I try to tweak the verses a little bit to make it more of my story?" And we were like, "No, of course." So he called us, and he was so cool. He told us he wanted to record the song and told us, his rewrite of the verses. And then he sent us each text saying, "Thank you for letting me record your song." And I'm like, what superstar calls the songwriters and tells them, that he wants to record their song? And just, he kept us in the loop the whole time. And he's just, I can't speak more highly of a person than Keith Urban.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good guy. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. The weird thing was, that song was a massive hit, but I think it hit like number 2 or
I think it was
Yeah.
by like 36 spins or something.
it was. And you know what? You made the same money, but that's
Yeah.
crazy that it was so close to being a number 1.
I know. I really, selfishly, I wanted to have a number 1 party so I could meet Nicole Kidman.
That's funny.
Okay, Keith's cool, but I mean, I would get to meet his wife.
I ran into Jen and her mom when the song was at 3-2, and she was like, "I don't think we're gonna get." And I was like, "How in the world are you not gonna get number 1? That's massive." She's like, "I don't know." And then massive song, and everybody thinks it went number one, just say it was.
Yeah. Just
Hey, your number one song. Nice job.
Thank you.
Number one in our hearts.
It was number one in Australia and Canada. So.
Well, then it was number one.
There you go.
That's right. Runaway June is here. We're going to come back with them in just 1 second. I do want to play that song, though, from Keith Urban. Jen and Brad from Old Dominion and Eric Pasley wrote this one. This is Wild Hearts here on the Bobby Bones Show.
7.
Oh,
That's funny.
Bobby.
It was you and your mom and Garth's lawyer,
Yeah.
who Ray knows.
But what was so funny is I didn't know it was Bobby, but there were 3 guys in front of us, and the one guy goes up left-handed hits, the next guy left-handed, then 3 left-handed guys teeing off, and I'm like, what? I've never seen this in my life. I had no idea it was him. I'm like, how are all 3 of you left-handed? And Bobby turns around. I'm like, oh my god.
That's funny.
It was
funny.
me and Roman, who plays the Preds, and then Nick. Yeah, and Jen and her mom and our savior, Garth's lawyer.
What is their story?
Yeah, but not one we can say here.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that one.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's behind the music.
Oh, you got to tell me.
All right, Ray, let's do one more here.
All right, ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Hitting it.
On the Bobby Bones Show now.
Runaway June.
Hey, Natalie, you guys have been all over the world playing.
Yeah.
When you go and you play Runaway June songs in, I don't know, you're in Europe or Japan, or I mean, you're playing for the troops. How cool is that? Like, what do you when you leave? What do you take away?
That is one of the most rewarding experiences that we get to have as a band. I mean, anytime you can play music, which is what all we want to do, but have it mean more, it's the greatest thing ever. And when we get to play and bring a little piece of home to wherever people are in the world, or even if they're deployed here in the States on a base, sometimes they're really secluded. But it's one of those things where when they say thank you to us, I'm like, no, thank you. This is such a beautiful experience for us.
Stevie, you're in a group, and you have these two have been together for a while. You have to catch up a little bit. Do you feel that way? Like like you two have been friends. I need to figure out what's going on here, and the group dynamic, has that been difficult?
They're just the worst people I could ever.
Yeah.
No, you would think that would be the natural transition, but they've done such a great job of welcoming me in, and it really feels like a group of sisters. So it doesn't feel like I'm joining in to 2 girls that have been in a band for years. It really just feels like this was kind of always how it was supposed to go.
I think after this interview, you stop referring to yourself as a new member, and you're just it now. There's
I
no
like
more,
that.
Yeah, it's just
I
like
like that
you got to
too.
get to a point too where you're just the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. You're just the band. It's like the thing with Cole Swindell, where it was like, he came in, I was like, bro, you got to tell people to stop asking you about doing merch for Luke. Like, this is the last time I'm ever going to even mention it. I'm just going to say, I'm going to not ask you about that ever again. But I'm not even going to ask you about it. Like, there's got to be a point where you just go, okay, we're Runaway June. We're not the new Runaway June. We're just Runaway June.
I love that.
This will be the point.
Well, you probably got a few more.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. You probably got till like summer of next year.
Yeah.
Then you cut it.
We don't have the control
then
over
I'm
that.
Yeah. Yeah, and at some point, you have your people go, hey, look, they're a group now. They'd rather not be the new Runaway June.
Right.
But I really like where you guys are going. You have some new music. The new song is out, but you have like some other songs. You guys, Stevie, coming out soon?
Yeah, we have some songs in the pipeline we're really excited about. One of them is the second song we all 3 wrote together. So we're really excited. We spent a lot of time in the studio creating and playing on the tracks, and we had a big hand in helping create them. So we're stoked.
Hey, Jen, a lot of these guys on the show, or at least a couple of them, really want to be on reality television. Like, they really do. Like, Lunchbox,
they
Yeah.
Amazing
this
Race,
stuff.
Ray
Yeah.
wants to be.
Survivor, one of those, yeah.
So you went on Amazing. How many times on Amazing Race?
2.
Okay. And what was the best you did there on that show?
Second.
They
place.
should have won. They got
We
past the
should've
deal.
Hey,
won.
same thing with Keith Urban, Wild
No, no,
Hearts.
no.
Yeah.
This is bullcrap. You see a
know,
trend here?
I have the
Yeah.
Really?
worst.
The cab driver went around them, and they got second.
Yeah.
Oh.
By 4 seconds.
How
Those
much
are
money did that cost you by finishing second?
$250,000 a second.
Oh my gosh.
A second. So
Yeah.
4 seconds, so $1 million.
Yeah, and I think we got like
Oh, wait.
12,000 divided by 2, getting second place.
So let me get this straight.
Major
If
drop.
you'd have won, you'd have gotten 500,000 each. But instead, you got 6,000 each. So it cost you $494,000.
Yeah. No.
Now she's sad.
More.
Wait, no. Each.
Per person.
Oh, yes, each. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It cost you that second place.
I mean, how often do you think about that?
I forgot about it.
I'm mad.
I didn't even put together the Wild Hearts 2 and then this 2. And oh my gosh, I got to break the streak.
You're just waiting for Runaway June to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Say something positive about her, quick.
Yeah.
No, I have many things. I think she's awesome. She's one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Oh, thanks, Bobby.
So what advice do you give these two? They're both still trying actively to get on these shows.
Man.
I'll tell you what she's going to tell me. Get an agent.
I feel like if you guys just put it out there in the universe, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
You put it out there.
What do you
I
want?
put it out there.
You guys should do Amazing Race together, you two.
Oh, don't look at me. I'm not in this. It's Ray and
Oh,
Lunchbox.
Eddie, I thought it was you
I
too.
have 4 kids. I'm not getting
You
away
can't
from
hear
them.
Ray because he's in the glass room right now.
Okay,
but
so it's Ray and
Ray tries to get on
Lunchbox.
Big Brother about every 3 months. All the
Yeah.
countries.
Oh my gosh, I'll call the guy.
You know the
Love
guy?
it.
Oh.
What?
Of course she knows the guy.
Same casting director for
they're the
Amazing
same.
Race, and yeah.
What
Big
about
Brother.
the second time you went on?
The
How'd you do there?
second time is when we got second.
Oh,
The
what about the
first time
first
we
time?
got fourth,
Did you make any money doing that?
like a couple thousand each.
Did you guys get?
But I mean, we got to travel the entire world. It's like it was the coolest experience.
Would you do it again?
Oh my gosh, not right now. Not after having a newborn. Maybe like in a year when I'm not so tired. The thought of that now is exhausting.
Lunchbox, would you leave this show
Right now.
No, hold on. Let me finish the question. You have to leave, like, as in, you leave because you're gone. How long does he have to be gone?
It's a month and a week.
Oh, that's all.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm still gonna pose it to you.
Yeah,
What if
see,
the-
let me go for a month and a week.
Big Brother, I think, is 3 months.
I don't think Big Brother seems like the most. I would do it, but it seems they do nothing. They sit in a house all day and do nothing.
And I think you have to be a bad person to win. I don't think you would win.
Oh, I could win.
But you're a bad person, though. Makes sense.
Yeah,
exactly. You nailed that. That'd be
Exactly.
awesome. Would you leave this show forever if the company said, "Hey, if you're gone for more than 3 weeks, we have to move on to go do Amazing Race"?
Yes.
Wait, no. Let me ask it again.
No.
Would you quit this show to go do Amazing Race?
Yes.
No. Let me ask it again. Would you give up this career and you can't come back to this show if they said she made $12,000 for finishing second?
Yeah, but I'll finish first, get the million, and then
Half.
I'll parlay that into the Challenge USA that they now have on CBS, and then I'll win that, and then I'll go on the Challenge World of Worlds.
I'm sure your wife will be so happy about that decision.
You would quit this show for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's gonna put in a call. She said, "I love it," because she knows the guy.
Runaway June. It's super cool that you guys are here because that means you're active, you're back, you're rolling. You guys can follow Runaway June official. What's up with at Runaway June though? I went and looked. There's like one post from 2016. Do you guys own that? Did somebody buy that?
Oh, I didn't
we
even.
we don't own it. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Maybe we should try to get it.
You know who I heard it was?
Who?
Keith Urban.
He's just trolling us.
It's his fake account.
Okay, listen, everybody, at Runaway June official, they got the new song "Broken Hearts." They're gonna be out doing lots of show, right? You guys are playing everywhere all the time, right? Is that the
Yeah.
plan?
Yep.
That play until you can't play anymore, and hopefully we will see you when this song is making its run, and when it peaks at number 2, we'll all celebrate together. Right, everyone? Right?
I think number 3 is even better than
Okay.
number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. Do you know in the Olympics they say people have better mental health whenever they get the bronze than the silver, because with the bronze you
Wow.
go, oh, I'm lucky just to be here. I could have been 4th, and if I'm one spot better, I still didn't win the gold. But if you're silver, you're like, I was so close to winning it all.
So
Wow.
true. I could see that.
And ask
Wow.
Jen, she loves it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Talk to me about my mental health.
Like you said, she's one in our hearts. So.
You know we love you, Jen. All right, there they are. Runaway June, everybody.
Thanks for having
all right, we'll
us.
see you guys soon.
It's